everybody. Welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today, I am joined by a very special series of guests. Please welcome Sacha, Mia, Violette, and Teresa from the Swiss International School of Dubai.
Hi. Hi, so I'm Violette. I'm Sacha. I'm Mia.
And I'm Teresa.
There we go. We got the introductions right. Great first step here. So the reason I have these awesome ladies on my show today is because these ladies have done something absolutely spectacular. The school and the ladies have entered a sustainability kind of fashion competition, which essentially is called Junk Kouture. And what they've done is they've designed an entire dress purely out of candy wrappers. Not only that, they have just secured a place in the final contest taking place in London. Cheers just for that, ladies. Well done, well done. So do you girls want to tell me the story? Why did you decide to enter this competition? And then Teresa, let me know why you think the school decided this would be a good time to enter.
So basically, it all kind of started in grade 7 when we did a fashion unit in art, so during school, and we made like hats. So I think we all kind of really enjoyed that unit. And so after our teacher, Miss Pollard, invited us to the new ASA, which was Junk Kouture, which would be starting for the first time at our school. And honestly, we kind of just started like, it would be just a fun activity for all of us to do. But I think that throughout the project, it became something like so much more serious that we all became very, very passionate about. But it wasn't like as serious when we started. But I think that we all like learned a lot through the process, like about fashion in general, but also sustainability and like working together. So it was a really cool experience.
And it's also, it takes time to like design the dress and stuff, because when we first started we thought it would be like an easy process and then it would just kind of like happen, but it actually takes a lot of time. Like Violet said, we started in grade 7 and like the actual world final is in October, which would be like beginning of grade 9, so like already 2 years. So it's like,
wow,
it takes time to.
And also, it was something very new. Like when we heard Junk Kouture as an ASA, it sounded interesting, and we just wanted to explore and see what it meant and stuff. So it's really nice experience.
Nice. And Teresa, why did the school decide to enter the competition this time?
So that was, we have someone in our leadership team who had actually taken part when they were in school, and they suggested that. So I took it over as an after-school activity. I also made contact with the Junk Kouture vice president for communication. So we are always in direct contact, and she presented Junk Kouture to the group. So of course the group was bigger than just the 3 girls, and explained all the things that they could use, they couldn't use, and what was the purpose. And that really aligned well with the school core values. Sustainability is one of our 4 core values, with bilingualism and excellence and togetherness. And I think these guys actually have achieved all 4 core values in this particular activity, which is brilliant.
That's amazing. So it's great to know, by the way, that you are also bilingual. I think it's awesome that you're able to bring together different cultures and come together through teamwork to make amazing things like this happen. So ladies, if you'd like to speak to me a little bit more about kind of the actual creation of the dress. I know that it was mentioned earlier that it's taken, 2 years? And that's a long time. Like, how did the process come together, and why candy wrappers?
Basically, at first we had to brainstorm ideas and sketch designs, and our initial idea was to like go with something that was common, which was masks at the time because of like Corona. Mm-hmm. But then we decided that would be a bit hard to clean, and like it would not be very like good sanitary, because it would be used, and if we were to take new ones, that wouldn't be very sustainable. So we switched to candy wrappers and like chip wrappers and food wrappers in general. And Halloween was coming up, so we made a plan to like get together and collect. So
that is also brilliant.
The brainstorming alone, it took around 1 month, because since we're 3 people in the group and each one had their own like point of view of how they wanted the dress to turn out, we kind of had to combine all of our ideas together to all liked the dress that we're creating and all really encouraged.
And like since it was also our first time in the competition, we didn't always do things in like a certain way or like a planned way. So when we began like creating our dress or collecting our materials, there were still things that were undecided. So we were lucky that everything kind of came together. But like we had to make some changes which caused some problems during the creation of the dress. Sometimes we hadn't thought through exactly what material would be used for what part of the dress, or if something would work out if something was too heavy on the hat. So I think this also like kind of taught us to like really like take time and like communicate better for like each step, because it really got easier like as we worked on the dress.
Yeah.
I love that. I love all that. Sorry, go on, Teresa.
I just want to clarify. They actually took 1 year to make the dress. They started in grade 7 within the curriculum. So I do that now. We're going to actually have a fashion show with the 12-year-olds who created a piece out of upcycled and recycled materials. So this is what these guys did last year in grade 7. Now in grade 8, they only started the activity in September, right? So they've done all this just really in this time frame. So it's just 1 year, really.
Like it's about to be our second year, so almost.
Yes.
But the actual process,
yeah.
And also we went to the Abu Dhabi final. We had the opportunity to go there, and when we saw the dresses and stuff, it gave us inspiration on creating something new that hasn't been seen before, so we have more chances.
Yeah, I think like going to the Abu Dhabi World Final from like the competitors last year, it like kind of gave us a new perspective, because we hadn't really seen like what other designs would be made for the World Final. So I think it really motivated us to like push our design further and like also try to make it more, also using sustainable materials, but still make it like a high fashion piece that still looked good. Which is why we kind of changed how we would place the wrappers on the dress. On the train of the dress, we had like these rolls that create volume. That wasn't there for like the first half of the project, but that's something that we thought would make the dress look more like elevated.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And this is, I'm at a loss of words. I'm a podcast host and I've lost my words literally because of how amazing I am at this. This is amazing. Honestly, well done. I guess my next question is, what was your favorite thing about putting this dress together? Anyone can answer.
It was like probably the final like touches, because then we could see like how far we've like come and the final result kind of, but it wasn't fully done, so we could still add things to it. So it was kind of near the end of the making of the dress.
For me, it was like the opposite. For me, it was the beginning, because I thought it was like so interesting, because we really like didn't know what we were doing, and we were just like taking old materials and trying to put it together. So I think the first steps where it like started turning into something, that was like the most amazing part.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm waiting for you too. Yeah, you gotta go now too. What about you, Teresa?
I think the most amazing thing is how these 3 girls worked together and collaborated and worked out the problems and designed and redesigned and then came back together. And to see them working together, they're very 3 different personalities. It's fantastic. You know, they've always been excellent with each other and listening to each other. And, you know, so I think that is a lifelong lesson, really. They will take that forever with them, this experience, you know, with collaboration. And obviously it's useful for other parts of your life as you grow and move on. So, yeah, it was amazing.
I love that. I love the fact that like something that was start off like at school, like this was kind of almost like an academic exercise, something that you did with your classmates and with your teacher had such an impact already, and already kind of gave you the idea of like it planted the seed of what else can I do? How else can I, you know, what other fashion pieces can I make from sustainable material, or who else can I inspire to do something similar? Because at the end of the day, you are the future of you know, our world, right? You are the youth. At the end of the day, you're the ones who are going to continue championing sustainability. So it's wonderful that you're in an environment that supports that vision and gives you the resources that you need to succeed. Having said that, what word of advice do you have for kind of your friends or even people listening to this episode about the importance of being sustainable?
Basically, it's really important because every day we use like a lot of things that are not really sustainable, and we don't really realize it. And by making the dress, we kind of realized how much we used, and that was only like not even like a quarter of what we used. It was like way less than that, and still it was a lot. So it's really important to think of that, because in the future, like, we're not going to realize how much like things we've like how much we polluted the world, and how much waste and like damage we've done to the world until it actually happens. Like, you have to be careful. Like, you're gonna have to think of the future and like also the present and the other like aspects of the world, because then it's just gonna end up being like a huge disaster situation. Yeah.
And you go ahead. We really hope like our dress is gonna make people aware of how much like they don't realize how much what they consume every day can affect the world, like these oceans and everything. So we really hope it gives the message.
Like, our biggest advice for like everyone that like sees our dresses, but also like all of the other designs, is if they can like also like take the message from it and also like go home and look at their lives and see like how they can be more sustainable, because obviously we can't just all stop using like plastic and all these like polluting materials, but there are like alternatives and also ways to use less. So our dress is really just to bring awareness to how much of it we use, and like if we can use less or replace it with other materials.
And also like maybe the fashion world can actually start like doing more stuff like this, using actual recycled materials to make actual.
Yeah, and the dress is heavy, Sarah. The dress is very heavy.
No way.
So it is a real kind of testament of how much they've collected and how much they've recycled in that one piece of art, which is fantastic.
At the beginning of the project, when we were collecting materials, we had like full bags that we were keeping in our houses just waiting to use. So there was a lot.
I still have bags of sweet wrappers in the art room.
It's like we asked everyone after Halloween to just give us their wrappers, and then during art class we had to wash each and every one of them to make sure it's going to be clean to use them on the dress.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yes.
That's a lot of
the process is very long, you know, and they've really thought about every stage, which is brilliant.
That's amazing. And in terms of kind of the next step with the finals in London, what does that look like? Is there anything else you have to do for it, or are you going to present the same product?
So they are presenting the dress. So Mia is the model.
Yeah.
And do you want to say a little bit about it?
Sure. Basically, when we go to London, the judges are going to have like a look, like an up-close look of the dress. So we have to kind of make it more presentable in a way. Like, of course, it looks nice and everything, but the small details need to be really like neat and like organized and everything, so that it looks more professional. So.
Yeah, and then other than also the up close look where everything has to look finished, there's also the performance, which is going to be done by Mia. And it's also really cool to be able to show our dress with like having her select the music and walking down the runway if she wants to, like if we're going to add some dance moves to make it more fun. So it's also like the other part, like presenting the dress.
And also, I think when we go to London, there's going to be different awards given, like for every city. There's going to be one winner from every city, or like different awards. So we really hope we can maybe like win one of the awards and stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You have so much to be proud of, all of you. And of course, like having a role model like Teresa, it's a fantastic achievement. It's so exciting. And I genuinely want you to know this is not something that anyone can do any day of the week. This is something that you have worked incredibly hard to do. This is not an easy thing that can be done overnight, and you should be very proud of yourselves, honestly.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And yes, and you need to remember their age as well, Sarah, because they are quite young. They're not 15 yet.
Exactly.
So that is a real achievement to such young people. You know, so we're very proud. Very, very proud.
Amazing. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining me on the show today. I'm really glad that, you honored me with this opportunity to help raise awareness for the environment and also for, how to design a really, really cool dress. But thank you for your time, and looking forward to hopefully seeing you winning the contest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.